Howdy, howdy, and welcome back. It's another Workshop Wednesday here. Today it's all about Beyond the Basics as our category, and specifically we're going to talk about custom reports and how you can build them in Google Analytics. Before we go further, if this is your first Workshop Wednesday, welcome. My name is Chris Mercer. I do go by Mercer, and I'm the co-founder here at measurementmarketing.io, and our content is featured on such platforms as Digital Marketer, Conversion Excel, Social Media Examiner, and of course, all of the training and courses that we have over at measurementmarketing.io. Our main job, of course, is to help people just like you learn how to use these tools. Today, we're going to be talking about Google Analytics, and we are going to cover the measurement marketing framework here. 5 key stages. Remember, planning, all about what's important to measure. Building is actually making sure that stuff is measured. Reporting is actually when you are using the stuff that you're measuring and putting it into a format that you can read it. And then forecasting is using that information to predict your near future, and then you optimize against those plans. So you're going to send traffic against what you actually thought was going to happen, measure the difference between the two, and you'll know what steps to take next. That's kind of the measurement marketing framework in a nutshell. Today, when it comes to custom reports, the reporting stage and the forecasting stage are really what gets affected the most, because custom reports allow you to do that a little bit better. Now, with all of these trainings that we do, just keep one new idea, one concept, one thing is all you're really looking for. The biggest reason that we say this is because, especially if you're starting out with Google Analytics, it can get overwhelming. Even if you've got experience at a base level with Google Analytics, and then you move into something that's beyond the basics, it can get overwhelming really quickly because these things can do so much. So just pick up one new concept, practice that, and then you come back, rewatch this, and pick up something else. That's what will help you to actually build skill. All right, ready to get started? Beyond the Basics, building custom reports in Google Analytics. Now, we're just going to jump right in, as we do with most of our trainings here. So we're going to pull up Google Analytics, and I've got the Google Merchandise Demo Store pulled up here. We're going to take a look at first what we're talking about when we say the custom reports. Now, all of these reports that you see, real-time reports, your audience reports, remember, real-time is all about, is this thing working kind of reports. Audience is all about who the users are. Acquisition is all about where they're coming from. Behavior reports are all about what actions they're taking. And conversion reports are all about what other results you're getting from those actions. But there are other reports that are available beyond these built-in reports that come with Google Analytics. Those are the custom reports, and you find those up here under customization. So we're going to go into customization and then custom reports. And what you will see here, if you're just starting out, you may not see anything. So in this case, you see a custom report that's been set out, one that was created a while back. So you see anything that you've already created. But if you haven't created any customer reports, and this is something that's important, these are under your user. So if I create a report, it'll be under my user ID that I signed into for this account. Other users aren't seeing it by default. So you can share that sort of stuff if you want. You can share your reports up here. But in the beginning, these are just for you. So just understand that. You're creating a report for you to answer your questions that you're trying to get answers to. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to click on what says New Custom Report, because this is where you're mostly going to be doing from the start. And you can see a basic template that's here. So the title of it, we're just going to say Workshop Custom Report. And then you can pop in, whatever you want for the report tabs. Now, in your report, you will have different report tabs that you can flip over to. So you can say, okay, this is my user view. I'm just going to make up another one. It's going to be called session view. We'll just do that. So if I go back to user view here, now I've got a different type of report. So I can do an Explorer report, which is the one that you're used to. This is the one where you can do secondary dimensions. You can click through things. So that's why this one's defaulted. A flat table is just that. It is literally just a rows and columns, and that's it. You really can't interact with it all that much. And then there's the map overlay. That's anything that you're doing that has some sort of geography or location. So if you're in your user reports and you're looking at geo reports, they're map overlay reports. That's how those work. We're going to stick with Explorer, and this is probably the one you're going to be using the most. Now, within every report in Google Analytics, built-in or otherwise, you have basically 2 main parts. There are the metrics, which are the numbers, and then there are the dimensions, which are the things that you sort by. So in this case, what are the metrics that we're going to use? So we can name this. I'm not going to in this case because I'm not going to create a bunch of them, but I'm going to say add metric. And what we're going to do first is put users, because this is my user view. So I'm just going to use that. And then I'm going to say dimension, and I'm just going to basically recreate the source. Actually, I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to do campaign. And then underneath campaign, I'm going to do source. And then underneath source, I'm going to do medium. And then underneath medium, I'm going to do landing page. So let's see how this works. Now, okay, I'm not building this report to actually answer a specific question that at least this data is coming through. Because remember, this is the merchandise store, the Google merchandise store, the demo account. So we're just kind of playing around back here. But I suggest that you do this as well when you're building out your skills, because it sort of helps to not have any skin in the game when you're just learning how to use these tools. So in this case, what should happen is I have a report that will start with the campaign, the UTM campaign, the underscore, UTM underscore source, underscore campaign ID. Then there's the source, then the medium, kind of like traffic tags, and then the landing page that traffic went to. That's sort of what will happen. And as I click through each one of these, it should bring me closer and closer and closer to landing page. And I can add a fifth one. I'm not going to in this case. And then next to that, as I'm drilling down, I will see the users that are associated to that step. And for now, that's all we're going to do. Now, I could filter this. Another cool thing you can do with custom reports is you can filter. So I could filter this and say, I just want to see Facebook traffic or Google traffic or traffic from a certain city, right? So you can do things like that as well. In this case, I'm not going to do that. Then I can say, where should this report be allowed to be used? Do I want it to be able to be used in all views associated with the account, so at the account level, or do I want it with just this one view or other views? Should it have access to other views as well? So I'm actually going to allow it to be in a view, and this is what's kind of cool about this. This is why reports are user level to begin with. I'm going to allow it in the view that I'm in, which is this master view for the Google Merchandise Store, and I'm going to allow it in a view that we have already set up in measurementmarketing.io, which is a different view in a different property in a completely different account. So it's pretty cool that you can already kind of leverage yourself. You don't have to rebuild a custom report for every single Google Analytics account that you're using. You just build it the one time, and then you can associate it with more views. So those views have access to it and are able to use it. So now that I've done that, we're going to click on where it says save. And with that in mind, we're going to, I think I just blew out we got to build out the session view. Let's do that. So I forgot I created that. So I'm just going to do what I call this one sessions. This is important so I can show you the difference. And then we're going to say it was campaign. I'm going to do the exact same drill down. So we're going to do campaign. And then we're going to do source. And then we're going to do medium. And then we were going to do landing page. And just for kicks, I want to show you, you can also duplicate. So I could have just gone to user view, duplicated that to create session view. In this case, my sessions here, I'm going to duplicate so I can show you. So it says copy of session view. So I'm going to change this, and let's say this is page views. And so now I'm going to change this instead of sessions to page views, just so we can see our pages per session. Let's do that. Let's do page views if I can find it here. Let's see, not entrances, regular page views. There we go. So there's page views. Okay, so I've got user view, session view, and page view. So might as well keep it consistent, right? Okay, page views view. Now we will go ahead and click on save, and there's our report. It'll pull up this report for us. So again, we're using the Google Analytics demo account. So typically what you would do is you would start with a question that you're trying to answer based on the data that you know that you have back there, right? The things you're already measuring. And you would create this custom report to give you answers. In this case, I'm just showing you how to create the custom report. So this one really hasn't been built to give us answers. But theoretically, it would be built to give us the answer of which campaigns are working, of those, which traffic sources are working within those campaigns, of those, which type of traffic is coming from those sources, of those, which are the landing pages that traffic is being sent to, and then a quantity number of user sessions, etc. Now notice here, user view, session view, page views view. So that's where our tabs end up. So I can flip over to sessions, and I can see that we've got campaign number of sessions is now 18,000. I can go to page views. How many page views did the not set campaign get? 82,000. And then we can scroll down or drill down. And this is where it goes from campaign to source to medium to landing page, because that's how we set up our drill down. So I'm going to click on this little Google AW brand. So now it's going to go to Google, and then from there, probably CPC would be my guess. Looks like it is. And then from there, what landing pages should pull up here? And it breaks down landing pages. So there's my landing pages, the number of page views for each landing page. And I can go back to the user view, and I can see I'm already still drilled down, right? It's kind of a nice thing about these tabs. You can flip over the tab. You don't have to redo the drill down. I'm already drilled down into landing pages, and I can see the number of users for landing pages. Now, you can see up here, and this is how all reports work, but custom reports are not unlike this. You can see the drill down. I've already gone from all, which is the top level, to look at this specific campaign, to this specific source, to this specific medium within that campaign. So and I can click back and start at a certain level if I want to. In this case, I'm going to go back to all. Now, the other thing that I want to do just to kind of show you a little more usefulness. Now, this particular report, to be honest, isn't all that useful for Google Analytics. Maybe this not set might be. Let's just see. They might just not be having anything come through. Yeah, so they've got some not set. So these are campaigns that didn't really get tagged in. And you see all the different traffic sources coming from those campaigns. And I can say, well, it's coming in from Bing. Probably going to be organic traffic. So there's Bing organic traffic. And then I can click on, there's my 53 users. I can click on to organic, and I should be able to see the landing pages now that are being sent that traffic. So I can see that. So depending how you tag in your traffic, remember with Google, it's always garbage in, garbage out. So as you're tagging your traffic in, if you tag it in a more useful way, you're going to get more useful results. As an example to that, I'm going to flip over to ours. So you can see our view here that we had that same custom report for. And I'm going to go into custom reports. So you can see it already flipped over. But you can see there's a bunch of different custom reports that are now available that this view has, that this user has created. So in this case, I'm going to go to Workshop Custom Report because that was the one that we were just playing with. And we can, it sort of resets it all. But you can see our campaigns are different, right? How we tag things. So we've got win traffic for our win courses. So I can click into the win course traffic. That tells me the different sources. And because this is how we tag our traffic in. And this is a very important thing. If you are not using UTMs to tag your traffic, you must do that. It's not an option. You have to. And second is, not if you are using them, but you're not coordinating them properly, then you still won't get a really useful truth. You're not going to get an easy to read story. So in this case, you can see I can click on a certain campaign. I can see all the traffic sources that work toward that campaign. Then I can click within a traffic source and I can see the types of traffic coming from that traffic source. So in this case, Facebook is setting up CPC. Let's go into Infusionsoft and see if we've got different types coming through. Infusionsoft, I have both partner traffic coming from Infusionsoft and email traffic coming from Infusionsoft, right? Now, think about that. That's incredibly important to understand how my traffic is working. And I can see that. Here's all my traffic, then the campaign that is for win traffic, for win monthly pass, or for our different win courses that we have coming from a particular source. And then within that source of traffic, the different types of traffic from affiliate partners or from emails that we are generating ourselves. So this is why it's so important to actually tag your traffic, because you can get a more useful truth when you do that. And in this case, again, it's just measuring users, but I could flip that over and say, I want to see the number of page views created by that traffic, etc. Now, what if I decide, okay, that's all well and good, but this isn't as useful as I want. I want to get some more results-oriented metrics. No big deal. We're going to go up to where it says edit, and we're going to edit this report. And I'm just going to keep it all like it is right now. We'll go to user view. And then actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to goal view. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it users here, and then I'm going to put in goal completions. So I'm just going to type in completions. That'll show up all my goals, and I can see all the different goals that are happening here. And we're going to do one, I believe, this particular view. Now, these are all the goals that are associated to the view that we have. So here's win monthly pass, the number of offer page views. Then I can see WMP. This should be 2. This is the we're going to be looking for the number of completion goals for the cart page. This is the offer page goal completions. This is the cart page goal completions. And then this is number 3. And this one, I'm not looking for conversion rate. I'm not looking for abandoned funnels. I am looking for goal completions right here. See, it says goal completions for this goal. So now what should happen is it should show me the number of users, then the number of users who saw offer, then the cart, then the thank you page. So in a way, I'm getting a rough idea of a funnel, of kind of a flow. And I'm still breaking it down by these different traffic sources coming through. So that's what we're going to adjust this to. So this is now the goal view. Put a little space there, and we're going to save this. Now, here's what's really interesting. I've got 2 views selected for this. Okay, so 2 views selected. Still the original one that or technically the one I'm in now, right? The one we're in now. And then the original one that I created in is this one. So we've got two views that are associated, but these goals are being set up to measure this particular view's goals. Okay, so now this report isn't as useful across views. So something to keep in mind, right? If you're making a custom report that is really built to answer questions that from information that you have stored in this particular view, then you really can't share it with other views. I mean, technically you can, it's just not gonna be all that useful. So We're going to save that. As soon as we save it, it's going to bring us back to our new and improved report. Now I can go back. If I go to session view, remember I didn't change session view, so that's the same old, same old. And page views view, I didn't change that either, so it's same old, same old. But goal view, I definitely did. We enhanced that tab and we changed it. We said, okay, we're going to start with users, and then of those users, how many see this and how many have seen that and how many are seeing that associated to a particular traffic source, campaign, landing page, whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into, it's going to pull up a little more data here. The benefits of being a low traffic site, you always have to have a bunch of data to at least see some patterns. Because remember, how do we read reports? It's truth is in the trend, power is in the pattern. You need enough data to be able to see that. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to click on our, for now, win campaign, because this is really the campaign that's generating these results, or is supposed to. So instantly I can see how many users do I have from the different traffic sources that are designed to make progress and help people to achieve a win, to purchase the win program or one of our win products. So now I've got users coming in from Infusionsoft. Of those, how many people? Now remember, not all messaging from Infusionsoft is designed to have them see this page or this page or this page, just somewhere in the process. But for now, I can see Infusionsoft as a top source of traffic. I see Facebook as a top source of traffic. I see Infusionsoft generating, or at least being attributed to 19 goal completions as far as the offer page. That is the sales page, seeing the actual offer that they could buy, win. And then we can go through our win course. And then you can see the cart views, and then we can see the cart completions, which is pretty decent, right? Now, remember, this is, a version of the truth. This is something that at least gives us a general idea of trending, and it's not about being accurate here. It's just about being able to see the very high level picture of what's working and what's not. Compare this with Facebook traffic. So right now, Facebook traffic, I've got 17 page views. I've got none of them going to cart and none of them going to the thank you page attributed to Facebook. That does not mean that they go to Facebook and then maybe they come back in through Infusionsoft and pick it up here. They could totally be doing that, right? So, and maybe this Facebook campaign is designed to just get offer page views. It could be that, but I could investigate it further using my custom report. So I can click onto Facebook. That's going to bring me into the type of Facebook traffic. In this case, I've got two different types. One is the paid traffic, which we code as CPC. And then I've got share traffic, which is stuff that we've done on Facebook, but is not being paid for. We don't put money behind it. So here you can see most of the traffic is paid, and the results in particular are attributed to the paid traffic. So then I can come through and say, okay, well, where are we sending this traffic? Here's my landing pages. So then I can see all of these 17 are associated to this page, which guess what is the goal page. This is the offer page. So all of that traffic that's coming directly in from Facebook is not going to the cart. So I'm not seeing that to the cart, and there's no other way around that. That's what they should be doing. So we now know, okay, we've got a little bit of work to do on that particular step because they are seeing the page, but they're not going through. And of course, we can continue to improve this report, building it to answer questions that we want to answer. So that is custom reports in a nutshell, and just an example of what you can do with it. Again, at any point in time, you can just go back to edit and it'll change the existing report, or you go back into your custom reports and then click on new. Now, if you want to get inspiration, let's say, for lack of a better word, you can go into import from gallery. So you can do this. You can see all these different galleries of all these different people's stuff that they've created and shared. I think this is great from a learning perspective because it shows you kind of what people are doing out there. But I would not just copy somebody else's report and then start using it. And the reason for that is going back to those 5 pillars of measurement marketing. There's planning, there's building, and then there's the reporting. Planning is figuring out what questions are you trying to answer. We built a report to answer questions around traffic and what the results of the traffic were. That's what we ended up building here. It's designed to answer based on the information that we're storing, like goal completions that are specific to this particular customer journey, for this particular product, for us. It's customized to give us answers, and so we can get answers much, much faster than if I just copied somebody else's thing. And remember, other people's reports are there to answer their questions. They built them to answer their questions. It does not mean that you should even be asking those questions. And so you can go down these rabbit holes of reporting where you get so much data, so much information. And if you've ever thought this phrase, this is how you know you've hit that point. You think this phrase of, wow, this is great, but I have no idea what to do with this. That's how you know you didn't plan enough. You just started gathering data. You just got information. And this happens a lot where you get a bunch of information. You're like, great, I still don't know what to do. That's just because you didn't have a plan to start with. So what custom reports allow you to do is to come up with a plan first. You think through your plan, what you want to do. Then you build a report that is designed to give you an answer to the specific questions that you are asking about your situation with the data that you have. And so that's why custom reports are so powerful. So again, you could use this gallery feature to import other ones, but it's just not entirely necessary unless you're doing it from a learning perspective. Like, oh, I wonder how they built this, or oh, that's cool. Like, that's totally fine. But don't use it as a template. I know people are a fan of templates. I am too. But templates can be dangerous if they're not used properly, if they sort of understand why they were created in the first place. Remember, these reports were created for other people to answer their questions, not necessarily even questions you should be asking yourself based upon your own situation. Okay, so enough about that. One final thing when it comes to reports, you will also notice this up here, at least probably for a while, is that Data Studio is out and about, and it's been out for years now. We actually don't use custom reports primarily. We typically use Data Studio. So if you are not using Data Studio, I would recommend it because it pulls information from analytics, but also Facebook and spreadsheets and basically 175 other different things that are out there that you can pull into Data Studio. So beyond the scope of this particular workshop is Data Studio stuff, but know that it is out there. It is a free tool and it does an amazing job creating very focused dashboard reports. And you can build anything you can build in Google Analytics and Custom Report, you can build better in Data Studio, which is why we have basically switched over to that. Now, I will use a custom report to quickly build a concept of what I want to build in Data Studio, to make sure the information's being stored in a certain way, to make sure that the logic works the way I want it to before I build in Data Studio. So I would, that's another way to kind of use custom reports. If you're not going to use them for an end reporting goal, you can kind of use them as a middle ground to figure out, like, hey, is this thing even being stored properly? And are the dots connecting so that I can ultimately move it into Data Studio? So just a couple of things on that. All right. Hopefully you got at least one new thing from that. Maybe the idea of custom reports even being a thing for some of you, maybe that was it. Or going through and understand you can do different tabs and why you might want to create different tabs because they can give you very different views very quickly. The idea of creating a goal funnel like we did with the sort of rough cut and that napkin math version of, here's the offer page, the cart page, and the sales page. Remember, we had those goals set up prior, so I could do that. If I don't have those goals, then I couldn't do that. So you make sure you do that. Now, if you need help on tracking your traffic and improving that with UTMs or maybe even with your goals, then make sure you check out the Google Analytics Basics course. So we have Win Google Analytics Basics. Those of you who are Win Monthly Pass members already have access to it. Or of course you can buy it standalone if you don't have access to it, but it goes into a very deep dive in the strategy of tagging your traffic and of tracking your results using ACE goals, which is why we can build reports like we just showed you. All right, so let's go ahead and get your win on. Speaking of win courses, measure.tips/courses will take you there so you can see all of our most recent courses that are available. We have lots of different ones that are out there. They are all very focused. They are 5 to 7, maybe 4 to 7 lessons each. They're really focused on getting you a specific results and then helping you get moving on. So not designed to teach you every possible bell and whistle of all these different tools because there's just too much and the tools change all the time. And you don't really need to know everything, to be honest, on these tools. So just get in and get out, and that's what the win is. Stands for what I need. That's what Win courses are all about. Very focused. Measure.tips/courses will take you there so you can see what we currently have available to you. And of course, if you are an agency, if you're a company, and you're really focused on more of a measurement culture that you want to integrate within your own organization, measure.tips/start will take you to the Measurement Marketing Academy where you can learn more about that. It comes with 4 different accounts. So every account comes with 4 different sign-ons that you can use. You've got the Win courses. So every sign-on has their own Win courses that they can go through all the different wins that we produce, and we do new ones every month. It also comes with group coaching, so you can actually talk with instructors and share your screens and go through stuff. And they rotate through a number of different workshops. So you've got things like strategy session workshops back there. You already have Beyond the Basics workshops, very similar to this one, that are back there with more advanced stuff. We have Getting Started workshops for beginners, as well as every month there's the new update workshop that comes through. So you can check all of that out as well. And of course, every Wednesday, we do have members office hours. That is for Academy members every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. It's office hours member Q&A. So love having you there, those of you that can make it. And of course, thank you for being an Academy member. All right, next week's workshop topic is a strategy session. So we rotate through these each time. Last week was all about getting started. This week is all about Beyond Basics. And next week, it's a strategy session. So we're going to talk about how to know if your measurement system needs an upgrade. And this is kind of nice because we're moving toward the end of the year. And so we want to be able to have a topic that's like, hey, we're getting toward the end of the year. Like, how do you know it's maybe time to upgrade? So we're going to talk about the measurement journey and the measurement journey that you're currently on. And how do you know that it's time for you to level things up? So that is what we will talk about in the strategy session next week. If you're more on the strategy side of things, definitely want to make sure you are part of that workshop. Speaking of, if you are not a part of Workshop Wednesday, you should. If you're a member and that little box that says Workshop Wednesday is lit up, then you know you're a part of Workshop Wednesday. If not, just get access to it. So it's measure.tips/WW. It is currently free to join Workshop Wednesday. You do not have to be a member yet. If you want to, you can do this for free. Just Workshop Wednesday on its own. Measure.tips/WW will get you there. And that way you get a part of every single workshop that is available from measurementmarketing.io. All right, you've just watched Beyond the Basics, Building Custom Reports in Google Analytics. Thanks again for watching this workshop, and we will see you on the next. Take care.